Recently, we've been hearing a lot about quinoa. Is it good? Is it good for you? So I went to the source, Mary, the nutritionist, to find out what the benefits are of quinoa. So, Mary, is quinoa good for us?
Quinoa is very good for us. It's a really great source of protein and fiber, and the best thing about it is it's gluten-free, so just about anybody can eat it.
Can you give us a little bit of background of where it comes from and why it's becoming more prevalent?
It originates in South America. Bolivia is the main producer of quinoa. You always want to make sure you get certified organic. That's very important. And recently, different health shows and doctors have promoted the benefits of quinoa and the versatility of the grain. So it's a wonderful grain that we can use in so many different ways.
The important thing is that it contains protein. Can you compare it to some of the other grains that we eat?
It's a really high source of protein for the little amount that you need, and that's what's really important. It's a real powerhouse.
So, can we use quinoa in replace of other things such as rice or pasta?
Yes, absolutely. Some people will cook their quinoa and use it as in place of oatmeal. Other people will use it in place of rice or pasta. You can use quinoa flour. You can use quinoa in many, many forms. Quinoa flakes, all different things.
So we have an example of quinoa here. Can you describe it to us and what the process we need to do in order to cook it and then to eat it?
Sure. One of my favorite things to make is a quinoa salad. And when you start out with quinoa, you have to rinse it because it has a bitter coating on the outside of the seeds, and that's to protect it from the birds from eating it. It's very easy to do. You just put it in your sieve, you rinse it for 30 seconds or a minute, and then you drain it. Boil it on the stove for about 15 minutes, then I drain it again. And then you can eat it hot, you can put it in your fridge, you can add it to your soups, and then, like I said, you can make your salad.
Now, do you season the water at all?
I don't. When I use it for soups, of course, I have a nice stock base, but you can certainly season it. Some people actually even cook it with water and a little bit of coconut milk, and so it gives it a really nice flavor, and you can almost use it as a dessert then with a little bit of mango or something on top.
So we have an example here of our cooked quinoa. How do we put the salad together?
Okay, so easy. First of all, I take the quinoa that's already cooked and drained, and we just pour it into the dish. And I like to season it with Bragg's aminos. If you have a problem with soy, you can certainly use coconut aminos, and you can just spray it on. And then I like to use some lemon juice. Just gives it that nice little bit of flavor. And I like to use some fresh garlic. Garlic gives it a really great flavor.
Okay, so you have the fresh garlic and you're putting it in the garlic press, which is probably a good thing to do instead of using like garlic flakes or
so
salt.
Much easier. Then you can add your nice peppers, celery, onions, red peppers, and I usually put the tomatoes on last. So one of the best things about quinoa is that it's a great thing to clean up your fridge. So if you have some extra cauliflower, broccoli, asparagus, just toss it in. Makes a really nice light salad. It looks really pretty. Then you can just top it up with your tomatoes. You can slice them if you like. Take more time.
I noticed that you're using a lot of raw foods. What are some of the benefits of that?
When you have your raw food, you're getting all the fiber from them and all the nutrients. And the more color you put in there, the better. You're getting your beta carotene, you're getting your fiber, you're getting your benefits from your garlic, your onions. Great product.
What other sources of quinoa do we have here? We have some pasta and some snack foods too.
Pasta's wonderful. One of the things I like about the quinoa pasta is that it never goes mushy when you cook it. It's very, very forgiving. You can just cook it like regular pasta. It tastes like regular pasta. You could switch it out. Probably nobody would know the difference. Great if you're gluten-free. There's quinoa cookies, quinoa crunchies, quinoa puffs. We've talked before about how you can incorporate quinoa puffs if you make your own protein bars. Quinoa pancake mix, lots of different options.
You've mentioned also that because quinoa is such a versatile grain, it's now being replaced in disaster relief too.
That's right. What they're finding is that when they go to places, rather than bringing rice or other grains for disaster relief, quinoa gives them much more nutrient value, and that's one of the reasons you've seen the popularity in quinoa has resulted in a 5-fold increase in price. So it's coming down again, but of course the demand drives the market. So it's a great grain to have.
Quinoa is something you may wish to incorporate into your healthy diet. For Shaw TV, I'm Ann Gordon-Air.